Hi, I'm Eric Zierfoss Miller, local judge, and welcome back to Deck Techs. I've got Jacob Corwin. Thank you so much for joining me yet again on the show.
Not a problem, Eric.
Today, you have brought me a very shiny variant of Amulet Titan.
Yes.
So, this is Modern Amulet Titan. Talk to me about why you are currently playing this deck.
In Modern, I just like doing generically powerful things, and this deck does a very generically powerful thing that's genuinely hard to interact with because most of your interactions involve lands and activated abilities.
Okay. So, what do you think this deck's biggest strength then is, other than that?
Honestly, the biggest strength of my variant, which a lot of other variants are catching on to, is the card Hive Mind. Just giving you a constant out to whatever your opponent's giving.
Sounds like a good deal. Well, you know what? Let's look down and let's look at the deck. All right, so over here we have Amulet of Vigor. This is one of the namesake cards of the deck, along with Primeval Titan. Amulet of Vigor allows lands to enter the battlefield untapped. Is that how this works?
Amulet of Vigor puts a trigger onto the stack that whenever a permanent you control would enter tapped, it untaps it.
Any permanent?
Any permanent. So if your opponent has the 3-mana Thalia in play and you put a Primeval Titan into play, Primeval Titan will then untap.
I did not know that. So that's actually really good.
Comes up on occasion.
Okay, so that's one of the mainstay cards of the deck. After that, we have Lotus Bloom.
Yes.
How good is Lotus Bloom in Modern right now?
There's exactly 2 Lotus Bloom decks in the format right now, one of which is this variant on Amulet Titan, the other which was Ad Nauseam. Both decks are not just trying to do anything fair for the most part. Both decks can do something sort of fair, but when you see Black Lotus, you don't think fair magic is happening.
That's actually super fair. After that, we have these engineered explosives. So you have 2 of these in the main deck. Also, Masterpiece, very fancy.
Quality.
So what are these sideboard cards doing in your main deck?
Basically, I just needed things at 0 CMC that would function as removal spells, and I can't think of a better one than Engineered Explosives. It answers just about anything. You can make all 5 colors of mana in this deck, so it clears whatever problem non-land permanents you have just out.
Okay, that actually seems pretty good. Then we got the big papa himself, Primeval Titan.
Yep.
Talk to me about Primeval Titan.
Primeval Titan is a Swiss Army knife. Now, you might see it in some other strategies, like the Valakut Titan strategies, where it's a very boilerplate card in those decks, where all it does is try to get Valakuts, get mountains, and kill your opponent as fast as possible. In this deck, he has much more versatility. So, everyone knows the easy go-to combo with Primeval Titan and Amulet of Vigor, where you go and you get your haste land and your Boros Garrison, you swing, you get more stuff, you hit them for more. When Amulet of Vigor is not in play, though, that's the game that I really enjoy, because then you have to think what your Primeval Titan is doing.
Okay.
I've never come into a situation so far where I've been able to cast a Primeval Titan and not be able to survive another turn.
Okay, but yeah, because you have so many, and I really want to talk about all of these utility lands that I'm seeing down here, and we'll get to that in a minute, because I think this deck, even the individual pieces of this deck are not very interesting. It is the combination of these pieces that's really where this deck shines, if I'm getting my gist of it correct. And once we start talking about the lands, we're going to start talking about all your combos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to look at each of the individual pieces first.
Yeah.
So after that we have Azusa giving you 2 additional land drops, which is just absolutely insane.
I agree.
Yep. And then after that, you have 2 Courser of Krufix, gaining life with all these lands, which plus Primeval Titan seems absolutely bonkers to me.
It's pretty decent in your fair matchups, I would say.
Tireless Tracker. What does this guy even do? I don't even remember.
Whenever a land comes into play under your control, you get a clue token, which you can pay 2 mana and sacrifice to draw a card, and Primeval Titan gets a 1/1 counter whenever you sacrifice a clue.
So that's pretty good. So this is just kind of like another fair card. Like this right here is like...
A lot of the times in this slot, you'll see something like Serum Visions or Adventurous Impulse or some cantrip. I wanted to hedge my fair matchups and my burn matchup a little bit more, so I put these cards into my deck instead. They still function as card advantage and card selection.
Yep.
But they're more than just a 1-mana cantrip.
All right. So, After that, we have Hive Mind Summoner's Pact. Hive Mind is just probably the least fair Magic card I've ever seen.
I mean,
It's 6 mana, I guess, but
Yeah.
like Hive Mind feels like this ends games.
absolutely.
This game is, you cast that, this game is now over.
More or less, that's how the card usually reads.
You know, especially when combined with Summoner's Pact, go get a green creature
Yep.
from your library and add it to your hand.
Yep.
And then you have to pay 4 on your upkeep or lose.
Yes.
And 2 of that has to be green.
Correct.
So if you have the Hive Mind out plus the Summoner's Pact, and they don't have green mana, this game is over.
Correct.
Which is absolutely amazing. I don't know what these are.
Pact of Negation.
Oh, more pacts. Again, so you have options here. Combined with the Teleria West, you can go search for these options.
Correct.
And another searching tool, Ancient Stirrings. Look at the top 5, grab colorless spell, or colorless card, which... Not the packs, though.
Unfortunately.
Yep. So now, we've looked at the spells, let's look at your lands. All these lands are beautiful as well. Teleria West is the transmute land, goes gets whatever you need, right?
Anything at 0 CMC. Teleria West's most common function would be obviously getting your packs, which therefore either protect your Titan in case of pack negation, or just go and find your Titan with Summoner's Pact. Teleria West also goes and finds the Engineered Explosives, which is why we play that. You can also just go find any of your other utility lands if that's what you need it to do.
Yep.
It also just functions as a land that taps for blue mana. I learned that very recently.
Did you know you can tap it for blue? My God, it's
Don't like to.
Yo. After that, we have Bajuka Bog, Exile Target Graveyard.
Yep, exile target player's graveyard. Also taps for black mana, enters tapped.
Yep. And I believe we saw there, and you can see up in the description. They can't see me, but you'll be able to see in the description a link to a recent video we had where Bajuka Bog absolutely dismantled a Dredge player. It was very fascinating to watch.
It does that.
Radiant Fountain gains 2 life every time it enters the battlefield.
Yep.
Ghost Quarter just gets rid of a land. So I noticed you don't have a way of bringing Ghost Quarter back. So what is it doing here with all these other enter the battlefield abilities?
A lot of people play the Ghost Quarter on the sideboard. It's usually just a hedge against Tron. Also a hedge against Blue-White, tagging Field of Ruins on early turns, where they can't afford to use it quite yet because they need to cast more impactful spells, like Detention Spheres, Chase Mind Sculptors, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Just good at tagging those.
After that,
Colony Garden?
Colony Garden. Makes a 0/1 plant token, very good to make blockers.
Yep.
And then you've got these, your Primeval Titan enhancement lands.
Correct.
Slayer's Stronghold gives Vigilance, Haste, and +2/+0.
Yep.
And then Sunhome gives it double strike, I believe. And combined, that's 20 damage.
With 2 amulets.
With 2 amulets, that's 20 damage.
Yep.
Which I've seen you do, and it's disgusting.
It's pretty good.
Vesuva copies any land.
Yep, that's the second copy of any of your one-of lands. It's your 5th Simic Growth Chamber. It's your 5th basic force against Blood Moon strategies. It does so much for you.
After that, we have our normal mana producing lands. You have Crumbling Vestige.
Yes.
Why? I love this land. I'm going to preface everything I say with I love Crumbling Vestige. Why are you playing it?
So Crumbling Vestige, in addition to an Amulet of Vigor, functions very similarly to a bounce land where it'll produce 2 mana that turn, one of it being the color you need, but it does not require you to bounce a land back to your hand. So it's very good in your openers.
It's almost like a soul land.
Yes. It allows you to, unlike your bounce lands, keep hands that have like Crumbling Vestige, a bounce land, and Ancient Stirrings. And you're like, that's fine.
Is that stock?
It's becoming more and more stock. You'll see it in about half the lists that you find.
Okay. So I feel like every time I talk to you about this deck, I feel like this deck, you've been working on this deck, and everyone else is catching up to your list.
Yeah.
So everyone, you're looking at the future right now.
And a little bit of the past.
True. Past that, we have a lot of bounce lands.
Yep. Exactly 9.
Yep. Your 4 basic forests. Urza's Saga. Foil. The arena foils. Yep. And Gemstone Mines, DCI promo. This is the prettiest main board I've seen in a very long time. Let's look at your sideboard. 2 Dismembers, pretty stock removal. 2 Swan Songs. Why that over other counter magic?
Basically, the only things that you're really trying to counter are instant sorceries and enchantments anyway. You're really only looking to counter other counter spells, cards like Detention Sphere, cards like Blood Moon, cards like Surgical Extraction, and this card's a 1-mana version of a counter spell that would do that for you. A lot of people are playing Negate in that spot, and I understand why they're playing Negate. It counters Planeswalkers and artifacts.
I mean, that's pretty good.
And the 2/2 bird has yet to be a downside on my end, because my deck's just doing things that should not be losing to a 2/2 flyer.
Fair enough. You have Rurik Thar.
Yes.
How fancy is that? Like, what is that for?
It's really good against Phoenix. It's really good against the War Prison deck that's been running around. I'll bring it in against decks like Blue, White, and Jeskai just because it's almost a guaranteed 6 damage to your opponent. And in addition to it is also another threat. It has reach, so it's good against Bant Spirits.
So it's just kind of an alternative to your Titan that just has a lot of extra utility.
A lot less utility. Titan has more utility the more lands I put in my deck.
I guess that's fair. It has different utilities.
Yes.
All right. Hornet Queen.
Yep.
God, that's nice.
I agree.
So that comes in, I guess, against what kind of decks does that come in against? Actually,
it comes in against all the Green Black X variants. Comes in against Death Shadow. Comes in against Bant Spirits. Comes in against any creature-based deck.
Fair enough. Then you have Commune Colossus. Protection from black seems really relevant.
Yep.
Obstinate Baloth, Burn, Run a Map Excavator. So you do have a kind of Crucible of Worlds effect.
I have a Crucible that I can pack for.
Yes. Ooh, that's really good. So what is he doing in the sideboard and not the main deck, though?
Game 1, you're just trying to be a lot more linear. I know I have this package over here, but this package is usually just Serum Vision and stuff, and this is effectively the same thing.
Okay.
As far as like just enhancing, getting you through your cards. Game 2, you're looking to become a little bit more interactive against some matchups, and Ramanap Excavator allows you to do that against Tron. It allows you to buy back your Ghost Quarter, or it allows you to buy back your Tectonic Edge. And
that's pretty good, yeah.
I see a lot of blue-white decks, not all of them, but a good chunk of them playing Crucible on the sideboard, and this is my variant on that.
All right. After that, Reclamation Sage deals with artifacts and enchantments?
And enchantments.
Nature's Claim, same thing.
Yep.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Slaughter Pact.
It's a Slaughter Pact. So another pact, just in case. How do you make the black mana?
I have the
You have
Bojuka Bog.
Bog?
I have Vasuva, which can copy into my black sources. I have Crumbling Vestige doesn't really make the black mana when you need it to. That's why I play one of Golgari Rock Farm.
Okay.
And I have 4 Gemstone Mines.
Okay,
In
so
addition to 4 Lotus Blooms.
So you have the ability to do it, but it's harder to do. That's probably just an emergency button sometimes.
Yeah, I hate getting got by decks like Infect and any other similar strategy. It deals with Thing in the Ice very well.
Yeah, that's super fair. After that, you have a Walking Ballista.
Yep.
I just feel like you just cast a Walking Ballista for 10, and then you just win the game.
A good chunk of the time against the more aggressive decks. It's a good blocker. It's another Flyer West target. And it just...
God, that is good. The thing I like about your sideboard is almost everything from here down is searchable.
In some way, yeah.
Which is just insane, because I was about to comment about how all of these are mostly one-ofs, except for up here, but it doesn't matter because you can tutor for them in so many ways.
Yep, every card in my sideboard, barring the Swan Song and the Dismember, is at least a 4-of.
That is...
When you include my tutor, so extra copies of that card.
And then you have Tormod's Crypt, Boilerplate Graveyard Shenanigans,
Rest for it.
and Tectonic Edge, Ancient Stirrings, Delaria West. Tech Edge is really good against those, again, big land decks.
And the Mirror.
Yup. All right. So, do you have any closing remarks? What is this deck? What do you think this deck's biggest weakness is overall?
The deck has a very high skill cap, and I'm not even going to attempt to say that I'm one of the better Amulet players out there. I really enjoy the deck. The deck has some bad matchups, but you can usually play through it. The deck's very good at finding a way to not die, and the deck's powerful enough to find a way to win after that.
Sounds good. Do you have anything you would like to say to people who want to play Amulet, probably after seeing this?
You can miss your pack triggers now, and you're allowed to just go back and rewind and fix that.
I mean, that's nice. It is a different conversation, but yeah, it is a nice thing. It is a lot less punishing to get wrong now.
Correct.
So, but the skill cap is still very high.
Yeah. A lot of people are on that white splash right now. I personally don't think you need it. Mm-hmm. I've tested it. It's okay.
It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm sure foil Elish Norns are extraordinarily expensive.
I have a friend who has one if I really needed it.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else you'd like to say?
Deck's a blast. Deck makes you think. Deck wins.
Jacob, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you here. My name is Eric Searfoss Miller.
I'm Jacob Corwin.
And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.